Good morning, ladies. I just wanted to come and kind of create a video because I couldn't find one on how to use a MIRA, which is MIRA, and it's used for reflections. And if you look at the picture, this is kind of what it is. I uploaded a handout for you too, and this is the beginning of it, kind of talking about what is a MIRA, what it's for, and then talking about the pieces of it. So there's the front, there's the bottom edge, and you can kind of know the bottom edge because it's going to be a little beveled. There's going to be a little beveling right here, so you can kind of know that bottom edge. And then you have the front face and the back face. So anytime you're working with a MIRA, you always want your beveled edge towards you. So as you move things around, okay. So one of the things that if we had been in class, we would have worked through this handout. And the first part is just to use our MIRA to do different activities. Now, one of the things that a MIRA does and how it's different from a MIRA or a mirror, M-I-R-R-O-R, that we use to get dressed in the morning. A MIRA allows us to see through this object. Okay, so if I, this is very crude. So if I kind of turn the camera, you can see where you can actually see where through it. So you can see my pencil on the other side, and you can actually draw different things when you see it. Okay, and how we'll use that. So the first thing we want to do is we're going to try the bow up here at the top. Okay, now what our goal is, and you can kind of see it over there a little bit, look on the far side. Our goal is we want to reflect this bow right here, our image. We want to reflect it onto the little girl's pigtail. Okay, and you can do that by taking your MIRA and slowly moving it around to find, and hopefully you're able to see that through over here on this side, the pre-image as it focuses, that we can move this little MIRA until the bow is just right on top of the pigtail. Okay, and then from there you can look through and you can draw and trace the bow onto the pigtail, and it looks a little off because we're not looking through it, or but it is more on. But you can kind of see, okay, the pigtail is you can put the bow on the pigtail. So another thing that you can show with this as you go through, let me look through this packet. Here's another example. Balance the ball on top of the bear's nose. Okay, so again, let me move my camera so you can see. So the goal here is you want to, number one, find the ball in the reflection, and you can see the reflection right there. So this is the reflection looking through the mirror, and so then you can just move it, however you have to move it to get the ball to balance on the head. And then from there, your students looking through the mirror, then they can see the reflection over here. Now, the other thing that this is used for, number one, it's super fun. You can put the heart, so you can also, this one's good, we'll do this one, okay? If you look through this one with the crocodile, let me get a good image of him. Let me get him. I want you guys to be able to enjoy this as much as you would in class. So there he is. So this is a reflection of our image of a crocodile, and so you can move it to where you can get a reflection of the two little crocodiles face to face. Okay, and show that they're in love with little hearts. So you can take the heart up top and you can reflect it down on top of them. So it's just a way to reflect and then be able to draw on the other side. Now, one of the things that we can also find is we can use a mirror to find a line of symmetry. a line of symmetry. So if we look at our two little astronaut guys down here, we want to find our line of symmetry. Okay, so first of all, again, let me shift it. So we want to see, yes, we can see our image, but we also want to see the reflection. So hopefully you can see the three little astronauts right there. So in order to find your reflection, you then want to move your mirror image to where it's completely on top of the image across there. And then what you can do is you can, I wish I had another hand, you can draw a line. Okay, once you've mirrored your original image onto your second image. Now, what you have here is you have a line of symmetry, and you have this little line right here. And what that little line shows you is that it's equal distance from the line of symmetry over here to the line of symmetry over here. Okay, you can do that where your line of symmetry is going this direction, horizontal. Again, this one would go vertical. Sometimes it may go, let me move it up here. Sometimes it may go diagonal through here. Okay. Now, we can also see, and maybe I don't have it in here. Sorry, I wasn't really prepared for this at all. Okay. We can also use this. There's lots of, I was looking for a shape. That's one of the shapes we've been working with. But as you can see, there's several where you can find your... You can also determine whether two figures are congruent of each other, and that's what we're looking for. So if you look at this little top guy, yeah, we can look at this and know based on just our visual look of it, are they congruent figures? But you can definitely tell they're not congruent figures when you set your mirror on top of it. And there is no way, let me get my bigger one, there you go. Then there is no way that I can fit my reflection on top of the one on the right. So we can know that those are not congruent figures. Now, the other thing that you can do with mirrors that, again, I would have loved to have got into, and this is something for older kids, is you can actually do constructions with these, okay? And the thing about doing constructions is because it reflects, you can line things up easier. Okay, so instead of having to use a compass and a straight edge, you can actually use the mirror to do some constructions. And so this first one, so if you remember, so this is draw a perpendicular to line P. Okay, so remember when we had to draw a perpendicular, we had to crisscross up top, crisscross down bottom, draw some lines. How you can find a perpendicular now is you take your line. Now, if you notice, I kind of have this cockeyed for you to be able to see, okay? So I want to bring this down to where I'm reflecting this side of the line straight onto the other side of the line, okay? Here it is not reflected, and here it is reflected. So it went down below just a little bit. So once I get one side of the line reflected along the other side of the line, I can drop that perpendicular, okay? And I know that's going to be a 90-degree angle there. So that's definitely one of the easier ways that we could have done constructions instead of having a compass and a straight edge. So they can be used for that. You can also tell if lines are perpendicular from each other by checking that. And so there are several things. You can do parallel lines, you can do perpendicular segments, things like that. So again, I just wanted to bring that activity to you. It's just a black line master that if you do have a set of mirrors in your classroom, that they can be useful, and you can teach reflection, because the whole point of using a mirror is allowing your students to see through the mirror and be able to work with the object on the other side of the mirror, okay? Now, we could use a regular mirror, okay, but you can't trace and things and see the image on the other side. So that's why these are a good resource. If teaching reflection is a major part of your curriculum, it may be something you definitely want to add to your classroom through a grant in this anyway. So anyway, this is our activity today for using a MIRA.